Welcome to the next chapter. And I'm Denise Young, and this is Stacey Regula. How you doing,
Hi.
Stacey?
Good.
Good.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Did you have a good holiday?
I did. It was quiet, which was nice. This is the time of year when we start looking for towards next year. So it's
Yeah.
kind of after quiet Christmas looking into 2026 plans.
So
You?
you had some time to be reflective?
Yeah, I don't know, not so much reflective, but like looking forward, I guess. Like
Yeah,
what can I do different?
right. Well, I haven't had a chance to really think of my goals and stuff like that, but I have been thinking about the market
Yes.
and how things might be for our clients in the next year.
Yeah.
and,
No, that's something I've been considering as well, as it plays a
yeah.
big part in how things will go.
How did 2025 feel for you in real estate?
Chaotic a little bit, to be honest.
Intense, yeah.
Yeah.
I know the competition never stopped. I felt like maybe in a couple areas it did, but like I feel like we were in multiple offers right till the end.
Yeah. In the city, there was in Winnipeg, I felt like there's lots of
Even
multiple
some
offers,
rural areas, yeah.
some rural stuff, and then I
Yeah.
did feel like properties that you thought wouldn't get multiple offers in the country were getting multiple offers, and but then also there was some sellers who were trying really hard to overprice their houses, and it would show because those ones would sit and
Right.
they're still sitting. So
And they're still sitting. Yeah, exactly.
yeah. So
What do you think people mostly misunderstood about the market in 2025?
I think on the selling side, they are finally getting it now, but in the beginning of the year, they had this conception that, we can just throw it up and see what happens. And let's, you know, I think overpricing was happening a bit there. Um, and then if, agents weren't experienced with pricing, then they were listening to their sellers and things were happening that shouldn't have been. So I think by the end of the year, it kind of sorted itself out.
Yeah.
People's expectations are back to normal. COVID pricing is gone. So
COVID rates and everything else
yeah,
on. And yeah, I found like a lot of people, I had to, you know, re-educate people because they listen to a lot of the US or TikTok or Instagram, and like the US market did crash, and they had super high interest rates, and they're, a recession, and their houses weren't selling. And but that definitely isn't the Winnipeg market. And
like
yeah,
yeah, the real estate, like it's local, right? Like the
yeah,
headlines tell the full story because
yeah.
Manitoba's its own thing.
Well, yeah, even, even when you're listening to Canadian news, you're usually hearing about Toronto and Vancouver, maybe
Hmm.
Calgary and Montreal,
Yeah,
uh, but rarely Winnipeg.
yeah.
Yeah.
So and like I've had people say to me, "Oh, I'm just gonna wait for the market to crash." Well, I'm sorry to tell you, there is no crash coming. And there's no frenzy. It's just the rates are stabilized and buyers are a bit more cautious now. Um, a lot of people are asking me, well, are buyers waiting for rates to go down? I said, no, they've accepted what things are and they're just preparing to meet that demand and what
Yeah.
they require bigger down payment. Um, they're planning for their mortgage payments based on what today has brought them essentially.
Yeah. Did anything surprise you in 2025?
Hmm. I don't know. I'm drawing a blank.
And I
You?
wouldn't say it was a huge surprise, but like demand was still high and inventory was still low. And I mean, I feel like that's been the same over and over. So it's not much of a surprise, but I feel like for my clients, it was a surprise. Like I feel like
Yeah.
everyone expected there to be more choice. Yeah.
I feel like there was specific listings that surprised me when they would sell for what they sold for, but I also found that frustrating because sometimes I feel like somebody would come from Winnipeg and they weren't educated in a rural market, and they would expect, or they would expect, like, crazy bidding war, but really their offer was way higher than everybody else's. And now
Right.
it's affected our comparables. And then you're trying to sell a house 2 miles away, and you're trying to explain to them, like, you're not necessarily going to have the same situation.
Right.
That was a bit surprising and frustrating.
Right. Yeah, that's true, eh? Yeah. Yeah. I can think of a couple times where that happened to me too this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to weed out those comparables when you're sitting down with the clients. So,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, exactly.
how did you find condos? You do a lot of condos. What was your?
Well, condos are never as crazy as houses. I found like there's like certain buildings that are, and but for the most part, like it was just steady.
Yeah.
And yeah, I didn't have. I noticed other people had condos that sat on the market for a really long time. I think I was lucky enough to have listings in buildings that sold quickly, uh, and that are like, yeah, weren't hard to sell.
Yeah.
But like there are some buildings that right now that are really hard to sell, and um, like if they have something unknown happening, one of the buildings that I was on the buying side, my buyer backed out of was like it's usually a very popular building, but they suddenly found some work that they need to be, looking into, and the research has just started. So, like with that being a big unknown for the next year or so, I don't think we're going to see a lot of turnover in that building without people losing money, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's too unknown still until they figure out what needs to be done and how much it's going to cost and how they're going to pay for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's not like really a market issue though. That's that building.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
I have a condo listing coming up, and I was looking at the comparables, and they all sold within 7 to 20 days.
yeah,
It's pretty reasonable, but then you have the ones that, sat for longer, and it's because they were trying to get more money, right?
they're
So,
trying to push how much they're getting. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
like you said, not a
Yeah,
market issue, but
yeah,
um, yeah, it's. I think people are getting a bit smarter when it comes to things. It's not really slowing. People are just more strategic. So
right, exactly. So for
buyers,
2026, what do you think mortgage rates are going to do?
I think they'll stay the same or go down like another quarter, possibly. What do you
Yeah,
think?
that's pretty much where I'm at. I don't think we'll ever see the COVID lows. So we're pretty much in line with where we were at pre-COVID.
Yeah,
And we might be, yeah, about a quarter to a half percent higher than where we were at pre-COVID. And I feel like those are really good rates. And uh, you know, I feel like you go lower than that and you're causing too much craziness in the market.
yeah,
And you go higher than that and people don't want to move. So like I feel like we're in a good place.
yeah. And now they have the 30-year mortgage, so I'm wondering how that will, if it'll be something that's utilized often.
Yeah, yeah, cause a little bit more affordability, especially in like higher end markets
Yeah,
maybe, but yeah,
yeah,
we'll have to see how our clients take advantage of that.
yeah. I,
Yeah.
I don't think it's offered everywhere, but
No, no, I don't think everyone qualifies for it, but
no.
yeah, we'll see how that works. Yeah. But yeah, there weren't any increases in 2025, so I don't suspect there will be in 2026.
No.
I think we might see it go down a little bit more, and that's probably about it.
Yeah, I think a few people actually um, went for the variable rates because they're just kind of
Because we're
waiting.
feeling more comfortable now. 'Cause we're feeling more comfortable now.
To, yeah, yeah. I do have a client that bought last February, and they're still in their variable. 'Cause they're just kind of waiting. Yeah, yeah. I do have a client that bought last February, and they're still in their variable. Yeah, yeah. I do have a client that bought last February, and they're still in their variable. Thinking
Yeah.
they'll probably lock in this spring. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, like, but
Nice.
people, like, a lot of people get nervous about that, right? So, but this was a young first time buyer, and they were fine with it. And like, your mortgage payment stays the same. It's just her, um,
The
like the
principal.
yeah. So it's it's not like
Yeah.
it's good.
Yeah, exactly. Um, Inventory plus competition. What do you think is going to happen for inventory? Will we finally have some? Are we going to get any?
I think it'll probably stay pretty similar to 2025, where
Yeah.
there's still more buyers and a little bit less sellers, but I think sellers are watching, right? They're all looking out their windows and seeing what neighbors are doing. So,
Yeah. I
what
feel
do you
like
think?
with the 2025 market having stabilized so much that we should see more people willing to sell in 2026 because like
Yeah,
there's more certainty in that they'll be able to buy something, right? Like
yeah,
um so hopefully that translates to more listings and but that also then translates to more buyers
yeah,
because those people typically are, I mean, except for like maybe people you know, moving into like seniors moving into care homes and stuff like that. We haven't seen a lot of new care homes. So like, I mean, it's not like we can put more people in care homes than we've had.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, it would be nice to see a little bit more movement there. I
yeah,
feel like entry level and mid range homes under key thresholds, what you know, are probably still going to be hard to get.
yeah.
Like,
They sell quickly,
yeah,
uh, but I have found that at the end of the year, things were at least selling a lot closer to list price than they were at the beginning of the year. So,
yeah. I feel like with uh, Manitoba Securities, what are they called now? Because they changed their name, um, financial services or whatever. That with their new rules on having to answer to them about how we price houses
yeah,
and possibly having to provide our CMAs if houses go up in price by a certain amount. Like, I feel like that might scare some sellers into actually pricing um, more fairly instead of expecting 100 grand over.
yeah,
So maybe we'll see people being more reasonable with what they're asking, and
yeah,
then that will help cool the bidding wars.
yeah. I
That would be
think
very nice.
I think sellers are also going to have to start doing a bit more maintenance on their homes that they've left for too long. Like it's buyers are taking more time and thinking about things more and being more
We definitely
strategic.
see that in the country. Yeah.
Yeah, they're actually
Yeah.
getting inspections done, and so if you've kind of let things go and haven't been maintaining things, it's going to affect your value.
Right. Yeah.
People struggle with sentimental value and market value. They're not, what you think your house is worth is it's not always what.
I'm from a family full of McIvers, so that might be an odd analogy to use because, or reference to use because you're so young. But um, do you know what I mean by McIvers? Like do-it-yourselfers, figure-it-outers, uh, and so yeah, I feel like those types of things aren't as like when we're in a rural market especially, um we'll go into homes and there'll be a lot of like do it yourself type work or figure it out type
Nope.
work, and sometimes the
Yeah.
inspector has no idea what they're what they've done and how it works and all that
Yeah.
stuff, and like that you do see more of that stuff in the country that wouldn't fly in the city,
Yeah.
and now that people are getting more inspections, it's not flying as much in the country.
Yeah. Yeah. I've seen some weird, like, I seen a guy who put in holding tanks, like for his septic, but instead of putting a proper septic holding tank, he put a water cistern and was
Oh
using it.
yeah.
And then, like, then he had a field. So now you don't have the sides of the tank where you're supposed to have the liquid side and the solid side. And
Yeah.
then, and then it goes to the field. And now obviously your solids are getting into your field and now it's plugged, right?
Right.
But in his mind, it was perfect. But, that's something that requires a permit, first of all.
Yeah.
Um, I think that sellers are not going to get away with this stuff.
No, not with the way the offer is now
No,
written. That came in
no,
November 1st,
yeah,
and same with the new PDS. Like way more stuff will have to be disclosed
yeah,
at the very least, right? If
yeah,
not, if not fixed. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So bidding wars in 2026. Yeah, I'd say the majority of areas are probably still going to see a good amount of bidding wars if they're priced in accessible price ranges. You might not see it as much in, like I do a lot in Oakbank and Dougal, and I find like as soon as you hit that 700,000, and there's lots of houses in Oakbank over 700,000, so those ones don't go as fast,
yeah,
and you definitely see like you'll see a bidding war in almost every one that's priced under it, though. And, yeah,
yeah. As far as like, Garson, Tyndall, Beausejour,
yeah,
the homes under 300,000, they go quite quickly, but you don't really find many of those in Garson and Tyndall. There's more of them in the north side of Beausejour.
right,
But, because they are so old, they often have some issues, right?
yeah,
So they're not selling in an instant, but they are selling reasonably fast. So,
right,
and then, there's a lot of people moving out to these communities from Winnipeg. So they're kind of used to that whole bidding war thing. So there has been a few bidding wars in Garson and Tyndall, but they don't seem to, they seem to sell closer to, their comparables, which is what's
right.
supposed to happen. So
What's supposed to happen exactly? Now, like some of the ones, like there was one early last year, Dugald. I'm pretty sure like I had clients looking at it before it went online, and they're like, oh, that's reasonable. Maybe we could get it a little under, and then it's sold for 100 grand over on the market, and I'm
yeah,
like, wow, that's
and like that's where like I don't think we're gonna see a lot of listings in, these rural areas that are within 30 to 40 minutes of the city, because people want to be out here. And
yeah,
so that's where I think we're going to still be struggling with getting listings. Like everyone's moving out to, Tyndall, Garson, Beausejour, and they've only been here for a couple of years. So the only time that you are getting a listing is if somebody has to move,
yeah,
for work or, and then the new builds will
right.
keep going, which is probably where you're going to get most of your,
Gives us a bit of relief though, having the new builds, because people end up having to buy a new build because they can't get in otherwise.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like, people come here and they don't want to leave. So
Yeah, that's good.
yeah,
Yeah, I think Anola will do good this year,
yeah,
especially like with the new development. Like every time I drive through there, another one is sold. So I feel like that development's going well.
yeah.
And
Oakbank, like you said, is growing quite quickly too. So
yeah, I feel like there's just not enough new land in Oakbank, right? So it like whereas in years past there would be the option to buy brand new, but there isn't a lot there to buy, right? Like there's a few left on the train tracks on the north side, and maybe a couple left in that very southeast corner, but like there's not a lot of options. And then there's a bunch of condos. And when I'm dealing with clients in Oakbank, the overall, like the buyers are overall saying that those condos are too expensive.
yeah,
So yeah, like I don't think I've even shown any of them because my clients don't even want to look at them because they're too expensive for a condo,
yeah.
even though it's a house.
Outside the city.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, I feel like if they could build some even attached housing again there, I feel like it would just go insane, because they need to find like under $500,000 price range for all the farmers who are retiring
yeah,
in that
yeah,
area, right? Yeah, there just isn't enough. Like, yeah. So there's that.
yeah. I,
um,
yeah.
Sorry,
do feel like, no, I was just going to say, I feel like people also need to learn more about the areas that they want to go. And like, I know that's off topic of this, but like you said,
no.
don't want to see the condos, right? But
Yeah.
it's, yeah, I think they need to spend some time driving around these areas. Maybe they'll consider them. It depends where you want to be at different price points, right? So.
Right, exactly. So 2026 predictions for, rural and new builds. We were kind of already talking about that. Sorry, that's the next question. Why are rural new builds becoming more appealing? Because there's less competition.
Nothing else, and there's nothing else to buy.
There's nothing else to buy. Yeah, you typically still get more than if you were buying in the city.
Yeah.
And maybe at like a more calm environment, or the sense of safety and lifestyle. Do you expect more buyers outside of the city?
Yeah, I do.
Of course, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, rural isn't about compromise. It's about control, space, value, and safety. Yeah. Okay, section 2, what buyers can do now? Okay, questions. If buying in 2026 is on your resolution list, what should they be starting with?
Well, if they're capable of doing it, then a fixer-upper. Like, I do have clients that want to buy rurally right now, and it would be their first house, and they're, they want like a $450,000 house, and they don't have that down payment. And I said, well, you have a good down payment. If you really want to move out, why don't you start with like, it's like nobody has a brand new car the first time around. You start with a small house that you need some love, might be a little farther than you want to be.
Yeah.
Then buy your dream house. So I think that, people need to get be more realistic about what they can afford.
Right.
So I think that first-time buyers should be starting off with something, if they can, under 350. So, or 300 would be even better, but something they can fix up or do some cosmetic stuff to.
Right.
Yeah. And then sell it in 5 years.
I'd say for buyers, let's get you organized and talk about this kind of stuff, right? Like let's talk early, long before you want to. Like I had a buyer meeting a couple of days ago, and like he isn't planning on looking till March or April, which still is right around the corner, actually, right? Like,
yeah,
let's chat now. Let's talk to the bank now. The bank can pull your credit and point out if there's any errors that need correcting, so that by the time you're ready to actually buy, we're good to go.
Yeah, I've been posting
start reducing your debt, making sure that you have all your down payment funds in one place, talking to your mortgage person about what that looks like, because you do have to have proof of down payment and proof of closing costs, and they want like records. And if you have it all scattered among different accounts, especially when you're a couple, like sometimes they're in several accounts. Now you have way more accounts that you need 90 days of records for. So talk to the mortgage person early. Talk to a realtor early that's going to educate you on maybe you should get a fixer upper. This is the area you really want to be in. This is what we can look at in your price.
Yeah.
We can start looking at like the 90 days of past solds to, so that you can know, does this area typically go into multiple offers, or does this area, is there room for negotiation in this area? And like, again, depending on where you're looking, you want to look out and richer, maybe we won't have as much competition as if we're looking in Dugald.
Yeah.
Right. Like, yeah, I mean, I find even Transcona is different. You'll have less competition in East Transcona to West Transcona, right? Like, so sometimes that's part of us talking, like, where do you want to be, or what are your compromise, right?
Yeah.
Some people want to be in East Transcona, so it's a bonus that that you get to have. You're close to the perimeter, right? Like, but like other people are like, but you're so far from all the amenities on region and stuff. So
define far.
Well, I know, right? Like we live country, so, but everybody's different. If you're looking for walkable,
Yeah.
then yeah, Niverville's far. Um, and,
Also a
but
growing community.
yeah, exactly. Um, and getting harder to buy under 350 here, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was a little secret for a while, but now everybody's like, oh, this is a good distance from the city.
yeah, I feel like when they started, announcing things like McDonald's being built here and stuff like that, and we hit the news because of the big movie studio that got built and stuff like that. And I feel like it really made people come here, and all those things are just bringing more people in and realizing that this is like, it is growing fast. There's still room to build equity here, but I feel like it is a lot harder to get in as cheap as we used to be able to. Yeah. But so get organized early. Save for your closing costs, moving, any step up costs, buffer for competitive offers.
Stop buying new cars while you're waiting.
Yeah, don't buy a new car.
Or 2 new cars. I just had that happen. So.
Did you? And then they're like upset that they can't buy a house.
Well, they ended up getting the house, but I reached out to their RBC representative, and I threw them under the bus because I wasn't about to write the offer. So I told her to redo their pre-approval. So.
Oh, that's good. Well, at least you had it done before writing an offer and everyone being disappointed.
Well, it's my job to look out for them. They might have been frustrated at me, but I think it's important to start the process early, and some people have it in their heads that starting the process early means that you just book showings with random agents and go look at random houses.
No, that's not the way. Starting early is sitting down and having a chat,
just looking,
making us, and we start planning things out. Yeah.
Like I'm just looking as
we start the education.
It's not strategic, and buyers get a little bit defensive when they reach out to us to show them a house, and they just want you to show it to them, and that's it. And you're not helping yourself. So.
No, they don't think about the fact that the seller has to clean, remove the dog, remove the kids, find somewhere to go for an hour minimum. And until the buyer is in the seller's shoes down the road, they don't understand what just booking a showing means. It's not just the realtor's time. It's the seller having to do all the things that they need to do to show their house.
Yeah.
And take everybody out of the house, and whether that means booking babysitters or taking the dog to the neighbors, something, right? Like there's always something. And even just driving around for an hour, that's like an hour's gasoline.
Like why look at something that you don't even know if you can afford?
Yeah, that's why you need to be pre-approved.
That'd be like me showing up at the Lexus dealership, like test driving one. No, I should be driving back to Toyota, right? Like, stay in your budget, and you'd find out your budget, right?
Right.
So we can point you in the right direction for that. But I think people just need to be, like my recommendation to people is to be more strategic and start the process early by talking to the right people. So.
Right, exactly. And what can sellers start doing now if they're thinking about selling sometime in 2026?
Well, I think that they should be more realistic about pricing, take our advice. And then also look at like the maintenance stuff, right? Like see what needs to be done in your home. And then, don't just choose a realtor that's going to tell you the price you want to hear. So I think it's important to see how your home's going to be marketed, if they know the area. Are they looking out for your best interest and going over all the paperwork with you ahead of time so that when you get an offer in front of you, you're not, what is this, right?
Yeah.
Me and I have to fill out a disclosure.
I feel like having that appointment with realtors early is really important because of the new offer, the way it's written. there is way more risk now when as a
Yeah.
seller,
Yeah.
and having to
Buyer
do
heavy.
that property disclosure and looking it over now. If you want to sell in March, April, like now is almost getting to be too late.
Yeah.
Like get on it. And then the other thing to start doing is the decluttering,
Yeah.
and
Decluttering.
having someone go through and help you determine what repairs need to be done. Like do that
It goes a long way.
now. Do it
Yeah.
right away. Like,
Yeah.
I would say even a year in advance is not too soon. You
Yeah.
know, I have to say clients that I have had that time with them a year before we list usually are like super happy
Yeah.
with the process. And I feel like especially seniors, the process does take longer. So if you know, grandma or mom and dad are thinking about, you know, moving into a condo or an apartment or care or whatever, like having someone come in and chat about the process long before they're even ready is a good idea, because it gives them more time to like get used to the idea that this is happening. And like as they do the bits of decluttering or repairs and dealing with any issues, you know, answering the questions on that property disclosure, possibly going over whether or not we're going to do it. Maybe the memory's not good enough. Maybe we're not going to fill it out. Like, but going over it as a family and with their chosen professional, I feel like by the time they actually sell, they feel better about the whole process.
Well, it's not rushed, right? People need
It's
time.
not rushed. It's not overwhelming. It's all just step-by-step strategy.
Yeah.
Right.
But then one thing for people to keep in mind, like I do like meeting with people a year in advance, but then I always tell them like the price I'm giving you right now is based on today's market.
We can't give you price right now.
No, we can't give you a price right now. We can give you like a rough idea.
Yeah.
But you know, the house down the road could sell and 5 others.
Anything can happen between now and then.
Anything could happen. You know, this crash that won't actually happen. But but I do think that it's important to go over all the paperwork and the process, and then also understand the buyer's process too, because like if the sellers don't understand how it works on the buying side, you know, about financing conditions and all that, like it just every day during the process you're telling them something new, and then they're just like so overwhelmed. So
right, exactly.
I do think it's important to sit down and plan and paint, because paint goes a long way, and declutter, and paint a neutral color, because
those are the 3 most important things to do: declutter, paint, and clean.
Yeah. And meet with your realtor. But yeah, I think that buyers, and like it's going to be pretty similar to last year for sellers and buyers, just a little bit more strategic. So
what's your bold prediction for 2026?
That pricing, no, not pricing, that houses are going to sell closer to their list price. That's honestly something I think is going to be more realistic now. So
yeah.
And like
mine's not very bold. It's like I feel like inventory is still not going to catch up fast enough, when we're still going to see a lot of competitive prices.
I don't like to put my foot in my mouth, so
yeah, but mostly in the accessible price ranges, right? Like it's still going to be hard to deal with, but it will be. I think it'll be easier if we're prepared. Yeah. What do you wish every buyer knew?
That you shouldn't call the listing agent.
That's a good one. And I'm going to add to and say you don't lose by preparing early. You lose by reacting late.
The listing agent is looking out for
the seller. Yeah, I agree.
And yes, they will be nice and friendly and help you. And we've all double-ended things represented, but it's, you know, we're representing the seller. You know, we're being hired by the seller. So.
Yeah, we can still be fair to both people, but we're not actually pointing things out to you that maybe you should have known, right? Like buyer beware comes way more into it. if you are dealing with the listing agent.
Yeah, and if your buyer's agent, gets to know you and spends a lot more time with you, it's gonna be a smoother, easier process. So
Yeah, exactly. Because
yeah,
even if a house is good, doesn't mean it's good for you.
no.
Um,
But the listing agent's gonna tell
but the
you it is.
listing agent, A, they don't know you well enough to know that.
They don't
And
care.
B, their job is to sell that house.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's one thing you wish every seller knew?
That they shouldn't just hire a realtor based on the price they're given. Like, I wish they knew that that's not how.
That's a good one too. Yeah. Yeah, don't worry about the price, cuz like we're willing to market at almost any price, but I feel like being market ready is more important. The stuff that you're going to do to get your house ready for sale and then pricing it accordingly. So if you're not willing to do any of the things to get your house ready, price it accordingly. And if you want to get the most amount for your house, do all the decluttering and the cleaning and the, like, hire someone to clean, because guess what, we don't see some of the stuff that needs to be cleaned in our own houses. you know my mom used to own a cleaning company, so like it was called Clean White Glove, and she literally did the white glove test, yeah, on the base, on the edge of the baseboards, on the fans, on the right on, when we go into listings and you look up at the ceiling light and there's bugs in there, I'm sorry, buyers notice that, homeowners don't. Right, but we're trying to market it to buyers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are things that I feel like, you need to be market ready. You don't need to over improve, just be market ready. So that's pretty much it for our predictions for 2026. If you are thinking about buying or selling in 2026, you can call or text us to book a January planning call. Even if you're not planning on moving early 2026, like I said, I feel like a year or so is still not too early. Yeah. So if it's in your future, call us. We can do a planning phone call. We can do by video. We can meet in a coffee shop.
Yeah.
And
two agents is better than one. You're getting both of us. So.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah,
always here to make sure that you're taken care of. So
yeah, exactly. You'll always be taken care of, and we're just a phone call or a text away. So yeah, that's great. Thanks so much from the Regula Group and the Next Chapter. And don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends. And thanks so much for watching. Bye, Stacey.
Bye.